Hey everybody, and welcome back to Life with Lolo. It is time for a weekly recap of Queens. This is season 1, episode 1, and it was titled 1999. Yes, so I decided to go ahead and watch the episode just to see how I would like it, and I thought it was cute, so I'm going to go ahead and review it. Before I jump into the recap review, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up. That's not it. Hit the subscribe button. Child, I'm tired. Hit the subscribe button. And if you end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That's how I go. Anyway, y'all, so the show is about 4 ladies who were in this group, this rap group. Well, yeah, because nobody was singing. So this rap group, and they kind of washed out after, I want to say maybe like a year or something like that. So I guess they were only hit big in 1999, because they didn't say like how long they were big for. But they were big for like this period of time, and then they got into like this big old fight on stage, and then they broke up. So it's 20 years later that they've been big in the radio, not the radio station, in the music business and all that other good stuff. So where it picks up at is 1999. And we see this music video taking place. And the first person is Eve, which we know is Eve, Philly Eve. Anyway, but those who don't know, I am from Philly, but I live in Virginia. Anyway, it opens up and it's a video. So we see Eve, which name is Brianna, but in the group, her name was Professor Sex. So she coming out this helicopter and stuff, the house blowing up, and then she start rapping or whatever. Then we see her 20 years later, child. She got 5 kids. She doing somebody's hair. She burning food in the kitchen. Her husband come downstairs because he been sleeping a lot because he been having migraine headaches and he hasn't been able to work or whatever. And I'm assuming he was a professor at a college, because he said if he missed one more year, he'll lose out on tenure. So I'm assuming he's a professor at a college or whatever. Well, yeah, he got to be, because later on, yeah, he a professor at a college. But he just waiting for a CT scan, and he like, baby, I'm sorry that you picking up all the slack and stuff like that. And she like, no, it's, it's all right, I understand. Once you get back healthy and stuff like that, you'll be able to pitch in, yada, yada, yada. So he go over there, he do the kids' hair and stuff. And before he do all that, he was asking her, like, baby, you looking good. You taking on all the roles and stuff like that. You looking good. Can I get a little something? And she was like, boy, stop. Maybe. So, that's on pause. So then we see Jill, which is Notori, what is it? Naughton? I'm saying that right. Her name is Jill, and it's the Thrill. Her real name is Jill, but they call her in the group The Thrill. So she up there, she rapping and stuff like that, and then we see her child. She in the church, she up there confessing her sins and stuff, talking about something she not giving her, she withholding sex from her husband and stuff. And then the priest or whatever, he about to say something, and she like, no, it's because I'm having an affair or whatever. And then and I can't really say this, I haven't told anybody, and she wanted to say something. And when she was about to say it, I was like, I already know what it is, but I'm going to let it play out or whatever. And so she was like, I can't. And then she left out. So then we see Butter Pecan. I don't know her real name in real life, but we see Butter Pecan, and her name is Valerie, or Valeria on her name is Butter Pecan in the group, and her name is Valeria in real life. Well, not real life, but you know what I mean. So we see her, they telling her that she a news anchor or whatever. So I guess she was going to interview Dan Jones or whatever, but they had bumped her down, and now she's going to be interviewing somebody that's dealing with some chimps or something. So she ain't really having that. Child, she got this bottle of steroids in her hand, and then she ends up pouring it in this coffee cup. I said, girl, I know you ain't drinking steroids. So we find out later what happened with them steroids. So she was just telling herself, first you get the money, then you get the power, and then you can boss out or whatever. Then we see the manager in the video, because they playing the video and stuff like that. Then we see Brandy, who is Explicit Lyrics, which is Naomi. Okay, so she doing her little rapping thing in the video and stuff. And then we see her in the present time, 20 years later, she at this country place, she on the guitar singing and stuff like that. Two people in the audience cackling her like, we getting bored. And then they was like, wait a minute, wasn't you one of the nasty bitches or whatever? Because that was the name of the group. So then she pick up the mic, start rapping her lyrics and stuff. And then she dropped the mic, and then she kind of walk off. So they looking like, well, okay, you could have just said yes. That you was part of the group. So then it's the end of the video. We see how, they was like on 106 and Park. They was like one of the biggest rap groups back then in 1999. So they was on like 106 and Park. They was on Cribs. They had all these big cars and stuff like that. And they was on the red carpet and whatever. And Butter Pecan had a perfume line, child. And then it ended with Naomi coming out of her car, and somebody was like, well, is this the end of Nasty Bitches? And she was like, yeah, because they had just gotten to this big old fight. They ain't show the fight or whatever. Maybe they'll show it eventually, but they didn't show it in this episode. So then we see Brianna, she grocery shopping or whatever. She get into her car. These couple making out all in the parking lot on her car. So she like, boop, boop, like, can y'all move? So then they move, and the dude was like, oh, yo, I recognize you. You was on my brother wall or whatever. TLC doing something. And she was like, TLC. And the girlfriend like, do you think TLC be out here looking dirty like this, looking busted? She like, oop. So then she get home, Bree, she, put the groceries away and stuff like that, child. She getting all sexy in her little red lingerie. She getting up there. She about to, wow with her husband, or so she thought. She walking down the hallway, she hear all this moaning. She like, what? So she can't even sneak up because one of the kids got this little squeaky toy in the hallway, child. She fell on the toy. Y'all was cracking up. But she get to the room. It's one of his students in there. He about to get wild with the student, child. I said, Lord. So, what's the girl name? Bree, she didn't really seem upset about it. She was more upset that he was with one of his students. He was with a white chick, and then that one of the people had mistaken her for TLC and stuff. I said, girl, you not mad at him? But she really was mad, but she really wasn't trying to perform, I guess, in front of the girl, because the girl left talking about something. I don't even like condoms, but I make him use a condom each and every time just out of respect for you. I said, girl, go, because you'd have been bust up, beat up right along with him. Like, go on there and get. So then, of course, he begging and stuff like that, and he like, oh, baby, I'm sorry. She was like, boy, I gave you everything, and then this is how you repay me. I gave up everything. Like, I sacrificed a whole bunch, and this is how you repay me. And then she storms out the room. We see Jill. She in the bathroom. She peeing on the stick. I'm thinking it's a pregnancy test. No, it's an ovulation test, because her and her husband trying to have this baby. And so she up there praying I thought she was praying that it was going to be, I thought it was a pregnancy test. So I thought she was praying it was going to be negative or positive or whatever. Because she did say she was pregnant, married. But then I thought she was praying because it was negative because she having this affair. But then I had to think, well, I know who she having an affair with, so it ain't going to be that. But anyway, she was praying that the dang on thing didn't say fertile, because she is fertile, because it said, ding, you fertile. She was like, ugh, because she don't want to have no baby but her husband, because she in love with this person. So she go out there and she go lie to him, telling him, oh no, baby, it ain't time. I ain't fertile or nothing like that. He was like, oh, it's okay, baby. It's all right. It's okay. It's God's plans. She like, yeah, you deserve the best. He was like, you are the best, baby. You are the best. I said, little do you know. So he off with his bowling league. It's nighttime or whatever like that. This girl come over. She like, oh, I got some lemon cookies. She was like, oh yeah, thank you. Darren loves these cookies and stuff. I said, So then they start hugging and stuff and what all this other stuff, child. And then next thing you know, they start making out. I said, I knew that she was trying to tell the preacher that she was gay and she was in love with a woman. I knew it. Something told me. It was in my spirit. Something had told me. But the girl was like, she was telling the girl, which we found out her name Tina. She was like, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to Darian. I couldn't break his heart and stuff like that. And Tina like, look, girl, I need me a boo who not going to be in the closet. So once you get out the closet, then you come hit me up or whatever. She was like, but baby. And then, Tina had left. Naomi in Atlanta. So she in the car. She get out the car. It's birthday balloons and stuff. So I said, okay, it's somebody's birthday. She at her mama house. So her mama like, what you doing here? And why you come here on this day? So she was like, well, can I see my daughter? So I said, okay, maybe it's her daughter's birthday. Child, she ain't seen her mama nor her daughter in a year. She ain't talked to them in a year. Okay, because she been on the road trying to pick up fame and stuff that she had missed out on back in 1999. So her daughter real upset with her, like, you not my mama, you just some lady who gave birth to me or whatever, and you too busy chasing this fame, and I hope you really find what you looking for or whatever. And then she was just like, you so busy chasing after this fame and stuff, you don't even know who my daddy is or something. I said, ooh, not sure, I don't know who that pappy is, but so it was like, ooh, child. And then she slammed the door in her face. So I said, oh, okay. So we see what the drama is with Jill. We see what the drama is with Naomi. And we see what the drama is with Brianna. So now we finna see what the drama is with Val. So Val, when she poured them steroids into the coffee cup, it was for her co-host or whatever. So the co-host, Dana, she on the stage, interviewing Van Jones or whatever, and she doing the interview and stuff like that, and he like, well, I want to talk about your views on Black Lives Matter or something, because what you be saying is real racist and all this stuff. Child, Dana start going off. Okay, she was just like, what? I say what I want to say, and all lives matter, and what the black people, they be acting like a bunch of this and this and stuff. I call them this, I call them that. I said, ooh, girl. So she was going off. So of course her career finna be done or whatever. So Valeria, we just call her Val. She was like in the office with the producers and the management and all the other stuff, and they was like, well, Dana out. You gotta be, she was like, well, I'm going to get on there and apologize to America. And the best person to apologize to America will be, of course, a woman of color. And I'm going to go up there and apologize and yada, yada, yada. So she spiked her stuff knowing that she was going to rage out and then say all that, get all that realism that she felt in her soul out into the public or whatever, child. So, of course, with the girl gone, she next runner up. So she in charge or going to be the host of the talk show or whatever like that. Not the talk show. It's more like a news show type thing. But what was it called? The Daily Shade or something like that. But it's one of them things. So I said, ooh, child. So we see the drama with her. So then we see Bree, she at family dinner and stuff like that. The husband trying to act like ain't nothing happened. Like, well, can I get some mashed potatoes? Can I get this or whatever like that? And she just sitting there listening. She gets so upset. She go outside in the car, turn the radio on or whatever. And then she hears their song, but it's like a remix or whatever. You know how, dang, I can't even think of the doggone, you know how they be remixing songs, child, where you hear one song and you thinking this, what was that song? It would sound like it was Nuck If You Buck, but it turned out to be something else. And I'm like, oh, okay. Or, Sweetie, what was the song? Is it My Neck, My Back? No. Yeah. When y'all know they take and it sound like it's one of the old songs, but it's a new jam, and you like, oh, I thought that was gonna be my jam, but it's something new, and you be like, oh, okay, that's a bop too. So that's how it was. So when she heard on the radio, it was their song, but it wasn't their song. So Bree ends up calling Jill, tell her to turn on the radio, and then in Atlanta, Naomi already listening to it. So then Val ends up running into E-Rock. So E-Rock was Eric. He was their old manager and stuff. And I guess they dated and stuff, and then her heart got broken or whatever. And so he was just like, she was like, well, what you doing here? Why are you here? Or whatever. He was like, well, I want to get the band back together. And she was like, well, why the hell would I do that? And so then we see 20 years later. Well, I mean, it's still 20 years later, but I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. We see Jill, Naomi, I'm trying to remember their names, y'all, and Bree in like this warehouse type thing. And Jill is like, can you believe it was 20 years since we broke up or whatever like that? And they trying to get the group back together or whatever, because E-Rock must have called them and told them what was going on. So Val comes in, and as soon as Val come in, Naomi looking at her like, let's square up type thing. And so they like, no, we too old for this. It's been 20 years. Child, they start fighting. They start fighting. So then Eric come in, he break up the fight and stuff. Bree talk about timeouts and you ain't getting no iPad. They looking at her like, girl, it's not your children. And so then they like, well, what is we doing here, Eric? What is we doing here? He was like, well, Lil Muffin, she on my label or whatever like that, and she get to perform at BET Awards, and since she remade the song, they want you to be there too or whatever. So you gonna perform at the BET Awards and y'all get $50K each. So they all looking like, oh, okay, all right, 50K, all right. So then Lil Muffin, we see her, she come in there, she talking about how she want to dress like a unicorn, and she talking about all this other stuff, and she was just like, well, as soon as I heard the song, I was just like, well, E, what I'm supposed to do with this? And he was like, trust me. And so she was like, all right, I trusted him or whatever, and now later I got 20 million views on YouTube, I'm blowing up, yada, yada, yada. Jill like, I can't do this. I am still active in my parish. I can't do this or whatever. And Bree like, look, I got 5 kids, girl. My husband, he ain't working. Like, come on, we need this. I need this 50K. So please. So she was like, all right, whatever. Okay, I'll do it for you. So then Naomi like, all right, I'm down or whatever, because you know I need the fame or whatever. I need these followers and stuff. But Val need to apologize. Val looking like, girl, I ain't finna apologize to you. Your ego is to this. You think too highly of yourself or whatever like that. I ain't got time for you to be listening to, we not doing this or whatever. So Naomi like, girl, you rolled my talent, and you the only reason why I'm the only reason why you was even famous or whatever. So they going back and forth with each other. And so Val was like, look, the only reason why I came here is because I felt a little guilty because I'm the only one that out of the group that made it successfully or whatever like that. Like you still chasing after the fame that you still chasing after the fame that I have or whatever. She was like, what she say to I can't remember what she said to Bree or Jill, but basically she told Naomi off or whatever, and then she was like, I'm not doing this. She crazy, and these two, they are beneath me or whatever. So then she left. I said, oh no, girl. And so they all looking like whatever. So then the girls, they go eat Bree, Naomi, and Jill. Because I'm trying not to call them by their regular names. They go out to eat and stuff. And Val basically, not Val, Naomi, she basically like, look, Val is the least talented, but yet she is the most famous one out the group. Like, she rode on our coattails and stuff like that. And I don't understand how she, you know, out here still performing and in front of the camera when the rest of us not or whatever. And she was just like, and Bree, you had all the hoes, and Jill, you stayed bitter until you started doing that blow or whatever. And so Jill was just like, oh my God, you ain't got to put my business out there in the street and nothing like that. And so, Jill was basically like, look, the beef with you and Val boils down to Eric. I knew he had something to do with it, child. It boils down to him because you was chasing after him. He wasn't trying to see it for you, and then he went and started dating Val. So I was just like, And then I was like, well, I wonder if he is the father of her daughter, of Naomi's daughter. But then it seemed like he wasn't, because they met up. Naomi and E had met up or whatever. So they was steady talking and stuff. And so what's her face? Lord have mercy. Bree was just like, look, I got something to tell you. I'm gonna tell y'all something or whatever like that. My husband cheated on me. I walked in and he was some there instructing one of his students or whatever. They was like, instructing him with what? His penis. Not his penis. I was cracking up. Naomi was like, do he still got it? Like, you ain't cut it off or not like that? She was like, no, he still got it. She was like, dang, girl, you really changed or whatever. So then she was like, you know, you sacrificed everything out of love and stuff. And then, you know, like Hillary stayed and all these people stayed with their cheating man. And you know why? Because you already sacrificed so much for love and stuff, and you just stayed with them. They looking like, girl, no, you need to dip. Like, if he cheating, like, why are you staying for or whatever? So then she was just like, they was like, look, you know, remember when that time you was dating Ja Rule and he cheated on you, and then you set his Ducati on fire? She was like, yeah, but you know, my husband, he drive a Prius, and it's on my name too, so I can't really do. I was like, girl. Jill was like, no, I think what she's saying is you need to find Professor Sex and, you know, boss up or whatever. And here go Naomi and cut his penis off. No, not cut. No, don't do that or whatever. So then they finished talking or whatever, and then they dispersed. So then, like I said, Naomi ended up seeing Eric at the bar. She told him to buy her a drink and stuff, and they started talking, and apparently they had a little something, but then he went on to Val. and just kind of left Naomi in the dust. But he's been married twice, been divorced twice. He ain't got no kids, and he was saying like, he between him and her, they had something pure. And then he was just like, well, because she was just like, yeah, you moved on a vow without me. And then he said, well, you had a baby with somebody else. So then that made me think like, well, maybe she lied and it was really Eric's baby, but she didn't tell him. Because some people will do that in the industry. If you messing around with somebody, you get pregnant, they don't want to tell you who that's their child and stuff because they don't want to look like it's something else or whatever. So maybe she lied and didn't tell him and said it was somebody else's baby. So I don't know, but it's going to be some drama there for sure. At the end of their conversation or whatever, they ended up having the drinks back at her room, and of course they bowed chicky wow. So then we see Val. So she at the studio at her not radio show, TV show, whatever. So she walking down the hall like she just, and everybody moving out her way, and she going to the office, and then they pull up on footage, because they always recording, child. They pull up on footage where she switched out her coffee mug that had the steroid in there for Dana's coffee mug. So she swapped it out. And so she was like, so what you trying to say? I had drugged her and put those racist thoughts in her head and all this other stuff. If that's what you saying, and I'm going to have my lawyers and yada, yada, yada. It was like, if that's what you want to do, then go forth and conquer. But then we're going to get the labs. We're going to get the police involved. We're going to get all this stuff involved. So it's better for you to just resign. So that's what she ended up doing. She went ahead and resigned, child. And of course, she got to go back to the girls and be like, you know what? I was tripping. I was being real petty. I was being real petty and stuff like that. And, I apologize or whatever. So then she want to be in. Naomi like, well, I still need an apology for me or whatever. So she was just like, all right, I apologize, girl. I apologize. So Jill like, well, I'm not Jill the Thrill no more or whatever. And they was like, well, we going to do it our way or whatever. We going to do it for the wives, the moms, and the ambitious hoes everywhere or whatever. So they going to be performing at the BET show in 4 days. So they ain't been performing since 1999, child. It's 20 years later. Do the math. But they end up getting together. They in like this little cipher. They rapping and stuff. I was like, okay, y'all, Brandy, because it is Brandy. It is her voice and stuff like that. She just, when she raps, because she does have like on her albums and stuff like that where she did rap, she just gives me that Onyx feel, like that deep gutter. If y'all know nothing about no Onyx, child, look it up, because they had some bangers and their voices was just like so deep, like hit me in the face, nigga. Like they were just like that DMX type gruff voice. So when she rap, that's how she sounds, and I love it. But anyway, they doing this little cipher thing. Little Muffin coming there. She jumping the cipher. They was all good. I said, okay, y'all better do it. They learning the dance moves and stuff for the BET Awards as they're doing the cipher. You see in the background, like, well, not background, but flashes of them practicing for the BET Awards and yada, yada, yada. Bree, she did her rap in the little cipher. And her husband was there. She was basically saying like she sacrificed everything for him. I watched him. I did this or whatever. And then he got a nerve to cheat on me and stuff. And then look up and he's standing right there. So he ended up wanting to tell her like, look, they looked in the CAT scan or whatever, the MRI, and they saw it was a tumor. So that's what's been going on. My migraines and stuff like that, it's been a tumor and it's cancerous and stuff like that. So I need you to come home because I don't want to have to tell the kids alone. So she like, damn. So then she go back home. They tell the kids and stuff. We don't see all that. We just see them two talking and stuff. And the kids upstairs, they crying. She was like, he was like, well, how they take it? They doing okay? She was like, no, we just told them that daddy might die. Like, no. But she was going off on him talking about something. How you going to cheat? And then I'm so mad at you and all this other stuff. And you got a nerve to pop up with cancer. He was like, looking like, what? It ain't like I gave it to myself. She was like, I can't even be mad at you or whatever. So then she mad at what he did and stuff. And she was like, look, but you know what? You're not going to die. You're going to get over this or whatever, because I'm going to nurse you back to health and then I'm going to leave you or whatever. Because this fool had a nerve to say he been doing research while watching a whole bunch of Grey's Anatomy. And the reason why he cheated was because of the tumor. I said, boy, you is not Amelia. Like, if you don't stop playing with me. So she told him to sit on the couch. So then we see Val and Naomi Well, Val came in, Naomi was sitting there, and Val basically told Naomi, like, look, have you talked about, she was talking about JoJo, which is Naomi's daughter. She was like, well, what, what's going on with her dad and stuff. She was like, well, he wasn't ready to be no father, so I just decided it was best not to tell her, whatever like that, and just make her assume that she didn't know, because she thought it would be better if she didn't know her father, because he wasn't ready to be a father or whatever. So then Val was like, well, I grew up in a foster home and stuff like that, and the only thing I thought about was my mama calling me and stuff. So maybe you just need to reach out to your daughter, talk to her, whatever. So she was like, girl, can we go back to beefing? But, she was kind of joking. Then we see E, he walk in, and then Val was basically like, look, I got dinner reservations for the both of us and stuff, and you can't cancel. So she trying to get back with E. So I know it's going to be some beef, because Naomi doing some things with E. E probably going to link back up with Val, and then it's probably going to come out that E is JoJo's father. So, child, it's going to be a whole lot of something. I can already see it. So, that's why I'm watching. But anyway, Jill, she in the bathroom and stuff like that, and little Muffin come out, and she was crying. And so she was saying, like, all these dudes is all in her pockets and stuff. And Jill basically was like, girl, don't let them use you or whatever. Stand up for yourself, because once this persona is over with, you're not going to know who you are. So don't let it use you. Use it or whatever. So then little Muffin, which we found out her name is Lauren, she invites Jill to a party or whatever. So they get to the party. Why Jill all churched up? Like she about to go to the church revival. I say, girl, you wore that to the party. But anyway, she go there. Ain't nobody there or nothing like that. They looking for Lauren. She OD out in the bathroom, child. So they, call an ambulance and stuff like that. Her manager come in the hospital room all mad and stuff that they didn't call the cops and the ambulance and got her at the county hospital and stuff. Talking about something. You may have messed up her career and yada, yada, yada. Look, we got to go. How about you find out if she okay? How about you find out what happened to her? But you so worried about her career and being embarrassed and all this other stuff. You're not even taking into account that this girl just OD'd on some coke. Like, come on now. So he getting upset and something like that. And he basically fired the nasty girls and basically was like, look, your services are no longer needed. She will be on the stage by herself. So they like, what? So they mad or whatever. They mad. So Jill, she's got her cross and she's talking about something. Turn the other cheek, because she going off like this girl need rehab. You need to take care of her and stuff. And he basically like, look, we ain't got time for all that. We ain't worried about all that. She gonna be fine. We gonna go out here and get this money on this BET award show. Child, Jill was trying to calm herself down to my turn the other cheek. Then he was like, huh? She was like, what? I was cracking up. Brie like, girl, you slapped him? She was like, yeah. Naomi like, yeah, it would have been funny, but he the one running the stuff, and we need his money or whatever like that. We need him to perform or whatever. So Lord have mercy. Jill was like, but this girl, she need help. We need to care about her and not about this money and stuff like that. And Naomi like, look, girl, I don't know this girl. I ain't know this girl until I came down here or whatever like this. I need this bag. And so then Val was like, dang, I needed this because in that cipher, I just felt real and I would want to put the mask back on and stuff like that. Somehow Naomi and Jill get into it because Naomi like, everybody home ain't perfect, everybody home ain't this and that and stuff like that. You got it all put together and stuff like that. Everybody don't come from that. And so Jill was like, you don't know me and stuff. You need to be worried about what's going on with you and take care of that daughter that you neglected or something. So I said, girl. And so then they all calmed down and whatnot. And so then Jill basically sitting there, she thinking, and she like, you know what? I'm gay. And they was like, what? And so she was like, I'm gay. She yelling and stuff like that. And they was like, that must have felt good to get off your chest. She was like, yes, it did. My husband, he's an amazing man, but I am madly in love with this woman. And she just makes me feel so good. She makes me feel alive and stuff like that. And but my husband is an amazing man and stuff. And they was like, girl, you deserve to be happy. Like, you need to think about yourself and be happy or whatever. And she was just like, you're right. And so then she ended up apologizing to Naomi. And so then they get up and then they start, you know, doing this little sister powwow and stuff. And so Eric come in with Lauren, and she thanks them for being, you know, by her side and taking her to the hospital and whatnot. And she tells them, like, look, I'm not doing it. I got to perform tomorrow, but I'm not going to do this without y'all or whatever. And so then we see Little Muffin or Lauren, she up there on the stage and stuff. And she basically gave the stage to the nasty bitches or whatever. She gave the stage to them and was just like, they got it, they the OGs and yada, yada, yada. Her manager like, what the hell is happening? He backstage going off and stuff, child, whatever. They get out there, they performed, okay? They did it, they was real cute. Jill ended up changing her lyrics to tell her girlfriend or her boo thing or whatever, that she basically told her husband that she ain't gonna be, you know, what was going on or whatever, and that she can be free. And she was just like, I kissed the girl. So basically she came out on stage. Okay. The performance, like I said, was real cute. They did their thing. And then 6 months later, we see, it said, all the girls was out there, even Lil Muffin, and they had like a billboard up, and it was like Lil Muffin and Queens on world tour. And then, Lord have mercy, what is Eve's? Brie. Brie was like, so we really gonna do this. We gonna really perform with somebody who just got fresh out of rehab, a mom of 5 kids, a gay preacher, and what she say, a washed up musician, and something else she called Val. I can't think of what she said, going on a world tour. And they was like, yep. She was like, all right, well, let's do it. And that's pretty much how it ended, y'all. So the show was pretty cute. Let me know what y'all thought about the show. I'm gonna work on getting these names right, child, because like I said, I'm trying not to call them by their real names, like Eve, Notori, all that other stuff. So I'm trying not to call them that. So I'm gonna get it down by the next review, recap, and hopefully I've been and got some sleep, child, because woo, okay. But anyway, y'all let me know down in the comments what y'all thought about the show. If y'all end up liking this recap review, go ahead and hit me with that thumbs up button. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the notification bell. All right, y'all. Until next time. Peace.